present. Papa would often feel bad because when there's a special occasion or my party sa mga relatives namin and not everybody can make it, he's always been proud to introduce me and Marty as his children, as if presenting his prized possession. Kaya it really affects him when either one of us cannot come in any gathering. I will tell you how sweet Papa is. He kept all our letters for him through the years. Actually, nandyan yun, lahat ng letters. And imagine, even my ID in elementary, tinago niya. Ewan ko, gandang-ganda siguro siya sa akin. Habang makapal yung bangs ko. When I learned about Papa's condition, last August 4, I am telling you, I have never cried as much in my life. It was the most devastating news I have ever heard. I was crying literally every night. It was so hard to be happy, so hard to accept. Yan, nawala. There were days I would be very hopeful and days that I asked God, why si Papa, Lord? It was a roller coaster journey. The only thing constant was that I can never imagine life without Papa. It's just painful. When Papa got very sick, I would get a lot of texts every day. Messages of prayer, encouragement, and comfort. But I noticed most of the messages were really for me, to comfort me. Then, when I went to church that particular Sunday, people were hugging me, telling me that they were praying for my dad and for me to be strong. Then, 2 or 3 people when they saw me, hugged me really tight and said, "How are you?" I heard among all the family members, "You are the most affected." So I went home that day thinking about that. I prayed and I asked the Lord to check my heart. Am I stubborn not to let go of Papa? Is it a sign of lack of faith? Don't I see God as sovereign? Or am I affected because of self-pity? Then God revealed to me through His Word during my quiet time, and specifically from the story of Lazarus, the brother of Mary and Martha, that the only reason I am affected is not because I do not believe in His perfect plan, or that I don't trust Him about my life or about my future. I am deeply affected only because I love Papa very much, and He means so much to me. For that, I will say yes, I am very affected, and I'm very, very, very sad. But in all this, I am grateful to Jesus because He may not have granted my request of healing for my dad, but He gave me something more valuable and more precious. He opened my eyes and my heart early on to a lot of opportunities to show my Papa how important He is to me. He knows that I can and will sacrifice for Him only because He has loved me first. And it is with a grateful heart that I am doing that. Maybe the reason why some of you say I am the most affected is that I still have a desire that God has not granted yet. Oo, asawa yun. Wala nang iba. Huwag na natin i-deny. I will not deny that. See, yun din sinulat ko. I will be honest. Yes, it was a dream. That one day Papa will walk me down the aisle and give me away. Who does not have that dream? Kawawa naman ako because it will never happen again. It will never happen. Wala na si Papa. Well, with a smile on my face, I will tell you na I don't feel kawawa at all. Okay, the truth is I sincerely told God about my desire. I cried to Him and poured out my heart, expressing to Him my desire. And I felt God telling me, "Okay, Binky, I can extend your dad's life just to give in to your desire. But don't you think you are a bit selfish to be asking for that, knowing your dad will be suffering?" Then I said, "But Lord, I also want to honor him on that day." And God assured me, if that is what you want to do, you have done more than that. Your papa knows how much you love him, and God even gave me the chance to ask him on that day before he gave his last breath last September 4. After my friends visited, I went inside and then went to Papa. And then he was awake. And then I whispered in his ear, sabi ko, Papa, alam mo ba na mahal kita? Alam mo na mahal kita. And then he felt the pain. That's why Ate Vicky had to run to the nurse station to get morphine na yata. Ate. And the reason I don't feel kawawa is that God gave me the greatest privilege of all. While in the hospital, as you know, cancer of the pancreas is the most painful. God in His goodness spared Papa from extreme pain. That was our request talaga, because I cannot bear to see Papa in pain. So even his doctor is surprised that he is not in morphine yet. The greatest privilege that I'm telling you about is that I was able to sing for Papa while he was in the hospital. Whenever he would be in pain, I would start singing his old-time favorite songs and Tagalog songs until he falls asleep. The fact that he falls soundly asleep, maybe, hindi ko alam. The pain, siguro nawala. I don't know. I think being able to lullaby my Papa is something I will never exchange for anything. The walk down the aisle would have been beautiful, but that is more for people to see. Singing for Papa, even in the wee hours of the morning, and seeing his countenance change is a lot more precious. And something I will treasure in my heart forever, and maybe until I see him face to face one day in heaven. Just to share with you, everything I am telling you today is not something that Papa do not know. I was able to tell him everything. I was able to thank him for giving us a good life, for always thinking of us. I even told him that, Papa, you don't worry about Mom, because me and Marty and Atid will take care of her. And we will take care of her the way that you took care of her. And you raised up well. And you know, more than a good life, more than education, more than the things that He gave us, sinabi ko sa kanya, Papa, you raised us good people. Naging mabuti kaming tao dahil sa'yo, dahil sa examples mo. I am standing before you tonight only because I want all of you to know how proud I am of my Papa and how much I love him very much. I realize if I want to honor Papa, I should have done that when he was alive, because the essence is really there. That is why I am so thankful to the Lord for making me not miss out on those chances when he was still alive. To all of us here who still have our parents with us, let us honor them while they are still alive. For me, to honor is to give importance to what they say, whether they are old and gray or major or minor. Through Papa, God reminded me that I can be successful outside, popular in whatever I do, well-liked by people, maybe memorize the whole Bible, etc. But if I take for granted the second authority that God placed over us, which is our earthly fathers, it displeases Him. Now that Papa is in heaven, the best way to honor Him is to give importance in the things He requested when He was still alive. My mom we would always talk about that. Kami dalawa ni Mami bago matulog. For maybe it may be major or simple, I guess, as long as his request will not cause me to sin or hurt people, will it be too hard for me or us to do it? For a man who has given his best for me. Papa is not a perfect father, because I'm also not a perfect daughter. He may not be a popular man. Maybe yung mga advice niya kakaiba. He's very old-fashioned, corny at times, makulit, paulit-ulit ang kwento, likes mga luma na music, sometimes contra or KJ, or sometimes unreasonable. But you know, as far as I can remember, when I learned how to write, I have always thanked the Lord